What is going on YouTube? This is Acidus Wired. So in this particular episode, this will be episode 32 of the Guitar Hero walkthrough. So we're going to see the intro, because I don't know if I showed this before as far as pitches like that kind of happen. It's some good stuff to kind of get here. If you like the concept, it definitely makes me yearn for like a concept of like a cutscene type story mode for Guitar Hero. That definitely would have been a pretty brilliant thing to have gotten. I would have appreciated the concept. I think that's probably something that this series kind of lacks. I mean, I like the career mode, obviously going through all the songs, but it probably would have been a good way to breathe some new life in this particular series, because there were plenty of them. As far as that particularly kind of went along with it, just the concept. I know that they at least made it to like Guitar Hero Legends of Rock, which was the third one. I think that there was like a Aerosmith one or something like that. There's one that's like 80s rock or something that relative type pitch. But yeah, this needs really. I definitely think this series could be revived. It'd be an excellent concept to kind of get that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I mean, this game obviously being the, this for the most part pretty undisputed classic just within that fold. I'd have to say this is a good concept, at least for this sort of music, video games, and pitches like that. I mean, it's actually, I don't know, when you think of things like that, sometimes you would think on paper that maybe this game wouldn't have turned out this well, but it was a pretty running hit. I just look after it. It's just games, I want to say I've at least played a little bit of Guitar Hero 2 in some fashion with folks I've smoked with and pitches like that. This is just kind of one of those games that was always on and pitches like that. I suppose it's just kind of one. And eventually, more so than games like Grand Theft Auto or even Madden, some of those type ones that kind of had that popularity. I mean, it's just kind of one that just really, it's like the de facto kind of one to have. Just like when you think of like Sega, you think of Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that. You kind of think of like Guitar Hero with like the PlayStation 2 for a good while. I mean, obviously there were other ones, the more that you know about some of those type of ones, but it's definitely like an easy kind of just de facto type pick. But yeah, the song here is pretty good highlight. This wasn't too bad. I mean, I kind of realized that this is kind of some issues. I would kind of say just, I mean, when these games start to get real rickety and pitches like that, I would have to suppose it'd be a good concept if you have some smokage with you, something like that, just being able to say, I think it's definitely a pretty good concept to kind of get some laughs out of this, just because the concept, and this is on normal difficulty, and that's the thing. I'm not going to attempt these on like very hard or some of those type ones. So yeah, once we get done with these next 3 songs across the next 2 episodes after this one, we are moving on to Guitar Hero 2, which I'm just going to try to get towards. I don't know that game is full bound, haven't played it as much like I was saying before, but it's just a good concept to see what's going to happen. But I suspect there's going to be more songs. I just look after, I'm questioning how many of those songs I'm going to be familiar with, and hopefully they have more than one song by each particular artist. I mean, as much as I like this game, I kind of looked after it, I figured there would have been more Rob Zombie songs in this game, like a Marilyn Manson songs and pitches like that, some of those type ones, AC/DC songs, some of those type bears. This would have been good. I mean, I know that they wanted to showcase like the true, I mean, obviously MTV, considering how much they know music, is obviously they probably know these, but just the concept of saying, I think it would have been a good opportunity as well to get some second and third singles in there. Like, I want to say Iron Man was in this game, but it makes me question if Mr. Crowley's going to be in the second one. Just questioning what they would do with some of that, which songs would be in there. Because I know eventually, unlike the Xbox 360, they offer downloadable content, but it just is kind of, I am probably at least going to try to do the bonus songs in Guitar Hero 2, but like I suppose I kind of figure that will just have more songs. So it might be, that one might wind up being more than 34 parts. It's kind of, I mean, with this game, it's going to be 34 parts, supposing that there aren't any mistakes towards it. So I just say there really should only be 2 more after this one, but you can't project that with Guitar Hero 2. So, but this game has been pretty straightforward. I mean, minus that segment that I had back in late 2022 where I wasn't able to get past that particular second to last song in like the career mode. That was just the basic concept about it, but should be simple enough. So yeah, I returned to the basement venue. Pretty good. So yeah, it's just kind of pretty good pitch here. Trying to think of what else has been going on. I've got a Ludicrous review that I'm doing, which is kind of a concept. I mean, the thing about me talking about reviews that I'm doing on my music channel, the problem with it is if I talk about some of these, this is kind of the aspect that it kind of spoils the concept, because I have so many reviews on these computers and stuff that I probably have over 12 or 13 as far as that particular kind of goes. I've got like over, yeah, I would definitely say over a dozen. So, with me posting these reviews daily, it's still, something I do like August 15th may not show up until September or something. It's just kind of the concept about it, but I look after it. I mean, yeah, I could probably edit more videos and get more posted to get caught up, but I admit, I was talking with Jackal Goldkick at one point, and I remember him talking about the fact that he just doesn't enjoy editing that much. Editing really is a royal pain, and just the concept behind it, it just really gets to be a pain in the ass as far as that particular kind of goes. It's not a fun situation. It takes a good portion of the day, and it is kind of the concept that it just is time consuming, and especially when you're meticulous with it or you have a lot of mistakes, it just really takes more time than probably necessary. But I mean, these are not as bad. I mean, doing the video game type stuff, as long as you don't have mistakes like the recording, it's more just, I don't edit as much with like synchronizing like the audio with the gameplay here, just because it's that simple. It's just kind of the concept about it. But with music, you do, if you have mistakes, yeah, you can't just, it's actually, that's a little bit more free flow, so it's just kind of the concept. But nonetheless, I do have some videos ahead, so like I was saying, that Ludacris one's going to happen. That's the thing about it, for folks that don't know, it's going to be a real treat to get to some of these, because I've noticed that the Ludacris stuff that I'm reviewing really has not had like much of like aspects kind of on YouTube and stuff. Just some of these type ones, like when I reviewed Pre-Release Therapy back in March, that was kind of the concept about that, just being able to say that that's pretty much like, just off, not, that's kind of taboo territory, just because it just hasn't been talked about very commonly. It's hardly even up on YouTube. I thought about actually posting some of the songs to my Asper's Music channel, but I was kind of doing that. I did that for a little bit, but I just don't, I kind of feel like I know it could get me some good popularity, but I just look after it like, I don't know if I want to have like that overnight type success to have to deal with that. I prefer to just have it be a little bit more organic as far as that particular kind of goes. But yeah, I'd say some of these Ludacris ones, there's more than a few. I reviewed every one of his albums, so you can find that in the Ludacris Reviews playlist on my music channel. But just being able to say he has plenty of mixtapes, and this kind of thing. There's definitely some ones in there, and there's some ones that I probably didn't even, that I basically didn't know about even until like the past year and a half or pitches like that. Some of those ones that came out in 2006, 2008, 2007, or at least maybe not 2007, but 2004, some of those type years, just the mid 2000s, the George Bush years, as far as that particular one goes. Some good stuff there. So there's plenty more Ludacris, at least for a little while. Some good stuff to kind of get, but keep tabs on some of those. There's some wicked reviews on the way. I just have spoken. It's really the concept about it. It's getting exciting. So I'd say that's a good concept, just because I know a lot of these reviews have that nastiness factor about them, just because they're just not commonly talked about. So it's an exciting and thrilling type thing. Once again, I got 3 stars, despite the fact that I got 87%. What's wrong with 87? What's wrong with the B+, Holmes? This kind of happens to be the thing. Being a cheapskate, can't give the extra star. I definitely think that's more than 80%. I should have 4 stars for that. But it's kind of happens to be the thing. So yeah, we'll get to some of these next ones. There's 3 more songs left, like I was saying, so I'll see you in part 33 and such. So have a wonderful night, folks.